Where's the money? Where's the money? Black Lives Matter, where's the money, bro? Where's the money?
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Sometimes it's nice for expectations to be met and for the world to simply lock into place the way that you want it to, right? So here's what we know about the Marxist. A Marxist is a dirty, smelly, lazy, useless person, just like Karl Marx himself, named after Karl Marx, who's a greasy, gross, sticky stuff in his beard, absolute loser who just sat around and not taking showers and writing garbage all day because he was a trust fund baby. Did nothing useful with his entire life, provided no one anything of goods or services, didn't do anything but wrecked countries forever, and probably be the number one person I would disappear from history if I could. I think Karl Marx. I think it beyond a shadow of a doubt. The most damaging person to ever live, Karl Marx. So the Marxists, it's nice when Marxists sort of follow that path, right? And they all do. They're all lazy slobs who provide nothing of usefulness to society, but complain and cause enormous erosion to the good things in society. Like this person.
In particular, are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
Oh, you're trained Marxists.
We are
Who are you?
Versed on sort of ideological theories, and I think that what we really try to do is build a movement that could be utilized by many, many Black folk.
Who are you then? Oh yeah, you're Patrisse Cullors, the person who started Black Lives Matter. So you are a trained Marxist. You are using the ideological theories of critical theory, particularly critical race theory, to break America by using race hatred against whites and every other race, right? Pitting all the races against each other to actually break what it means to be an American. That's what critical theory is. And it's so wonderful to see the smelly, useless slobs get what's coming to them, man. Because Patrisse Cullors is not having a good one. And Black Lives Matter, a fraudulent organization and a terrorist organization, is not having a good one. Okay, people are actually going to prison. BLM activists are now going to jail. Thank God. Black Lives Matter is heading for insolvency after plunging $8.5 million in the red. Founder Patrisse Cullors' brother was paid $1.6 million. Oh, really? So it really is just a fraudulent funnel for their families. Go see how the Marxist leaders live inside of their countries. They live great. Stalin lived great. Stalin had many mansions, even though private property was banned. Stalin ate like a king, even though food was rationed in Soviet Russia. Sister, a board member, earned $1.1 million for consulting. So she's making millionaires out of her family, buying mansions. They're buying mansions in LA. They're buying mansions in Canada. It was all a fraud. It was all a fraud perpetrated by these dirty Marxists. They are communists, and they lied to you, and they used your guilt. They weaponized your white feline, suburban woman guilt, and they stole your money. Now it's officially documented. They've lost 88% of their donations. Black Lives Matter faced intense questions for its handling of donations, which surged after George Floyd protests. The organization, all Marxists, the Marxist playbook is to take a crisis, then weaponize it, right? So George Floyd, they're like licking they were so excited for that to happen because they could then weaponize the pain and that moment. Never let a crisis go to waste, remember. Okay? And that's precisely what happened. These vicious, the mendacity of it, the evil of it. Of course, we now know, according to George Floyd's own autopsy, official autopsy, that he didn't die based on any type of asphyxiation or damage to his head or neck. He died based on the enormous amount of drugs that he had in his system, including fentanyl. So other than buying mansions for themselves, Black Lives Matter is officially bankrupt. They bought all their mansions. They're bankrupt now. So where do bankrupt people go to launder their money? Well, Patrisse Cullors is now using performance art to confront exhaustion. Got it? So this is exactly why Hunter Biden and all people like Patrisse Cullors, the frauds, they're left-wing frauds, they all get into high art because it is the number one, it's a totally subjective field, and you can do like forever permanent money laundering through art, right? So you just get an appraiser to come in and appraise the art at $15 million, then you can donate it to a gallery, and then you can write off the $15 million. It's just total fraud, right? Patrisse Cullors is now a performance artist, okay? The performance include 2 pieces visually contracted, the history of black bodies being harmed and tortured and brutalized, and hair wash. Cullors cast about a dozen black performers to wash another's hair. Got it? Sounds awesome. In Weight, a piece examining the history of salt, Cullors submerged into a tub filled with 400 pounds of Epsom salt. Let me tell you, this is the person who does need extra sodium in their diet. So, not buying it. But the actual images of the performances are even worse. Okay? So talk about lazy Marxist, useless people. Here is Patrisse Cullors posing completely naked, covered in gold, every square inch of her body painted in gold, and all these people looking extremely, extremely uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, what a going on? This is what this guy said. This lady's like, I didn't think they. For the first time ever, uppity white liberals are publicly and completely, totally embarrassed to be supporting BLM or Gold Lives Matter, whatever this would be. What even is this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's money laundering. It's further money laundering by the Black Lives Matter organization. Chris Rufo here saying on Twitter, I wanted to see what Patrisse Cullors has been up to since she resigned from the organization. She is now a modern artist. I do think it's particularly interesting how in the old scriptures, you essentially built a golden calf, right? The Israelites build a golden calf to defy God and to insult God and his salvation. And here you have Patrisse Cullors turning herself into the golden calf, right? Worshipping herself. Really, it's poetic. She is now the golden calf. She's worshipped herself. She's turned herself into like a goddess here. Whew, man. Ugh. Glad I wasn't on this show. And I've already had lunch. And now she's going to then continue to milk the golden calf through money laundering. Patrisse Cullors debuts LA performance art piece that sees her lead a group of women in white dresses tied together by their hair. Check this out. This is what your donations. This is what your donations are being money laundered to. They're all wearing Crocs, by the way. In case you're wondering how artistic this is. They're wearing Crocs. There you go. Final question I have to ask about this. Other than whatever these women are being paid, and I feel sorry for all of them. Has Patrisse Cullors done anything to help the black community? Wait, so $90 million worth of donation, $100 million worth of donation is like rounded up. Other than these women right here, who maybe they're getting paid, maybe they're not. Has Patrisse Cullors ever used any of that money to help black people? Like, have we been able to come up with a single instance where Black Lives Matter has helped the life of a black person? No? Nothing? Our friend Candace Owens went on Tucker Carlson's show to talk about trying to confront Patrisse Cullors and causing Patrisse Cullors to have a apoplectic meltdown on social media before finding herself in a bucket of salt. Right? There you go. In a legendary clip from Tucker Carlson's show. Tucker just told way too much truth. Candace Owens joined him. Check this out. Triggering the dirty Marxists who are so useless, such slobs, and who fancy themselves gods in society, right? Who fancy themselves golden gods in society. I'm sorry to do this to you. Candace, please, take it away. Go.
Remember the BLM movement, May of 2020, when every high school girl in America was absolutely required to put a black square on her Instagram page? Remember that? BLM, everyone's for BLM. Mitt Romney marched with BLM. What was that? Well, it was a scam. Actually, it turns out it was a scam. And it really hurt the country. Candace Owens has done an entire documentary on this. It's called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, George Floyd and the Rise of BLM. For the documentary, she showed up to the gated mansion in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, owned by BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors. Cullors then posted a video on Instagram complaining about Candace Owens' reporting. Watch this.
So we are headed to Laurel Canyon. We've yet to see any black people in this neighborhood. So there's definitely somebody home. Hello. I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property. Sir? Hello? I don't know if he's going to get someone. I see a very cute German Shepherd, it looks like.
This morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house with a news crew.
I can't see how this purchase helped black lives anywhere in America. I can't even find a black life on the property. The dog's not even black, so there's that.
And so they're literally trying to destroy us. They're trying to destroy me. They're trying to destroy the movement. And I just need us to be stronger.
When you live in a multi-million-dollar home in Laurel Canyon, it can be hard. Candace Owens is the person who caused the suffering you just saw. She's the producer of the brand new documentary, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, George Floyd and the Rise of BLM. One of the bravest people we know and one of the smartest joins us tonight. Candace Owens, thanks so much. First of all, thank you for doing this. It's like that whole moment is forgotten. Why did you think it was important to make a documentary about it?
Because of exactly what you said, because they want you to forget it, right? They do these things, they sort of punch you in the face and then they move on and they say, nobody look any further. We're now moving on to a different narrative. It is important to pause and to reflect and to consider what happened and ask a very big question, which for whatever reason, no journalist was interested in at the time. We were all basically required to either put up a black square or donate to Black Lives Matter or to make some, statement online about how black people are suffering to make sure that Black Lives Matter would receive the $80 million that it received in 1 year. But nobody asked the question, where is all the money going? I was interested because they turned me into public enemy number one for accurately talking about George Floyd, not in the capacity of a hero, but in the capacity of a person who was addicted to drugs and who had enough fentanyl in the system to kill a horse at the time that he died. That made people angry because people were invested in the emotion of Black Lives Matter. And so, look, I'm wearing the shirt. It is the BLM symbol, but instead I've inserted some cash into it because what they really did is they robbed Americans. They robbed Americans' emotions. They extracted emotions. They used black pain to create confusion and to take millions upon millions, tens of millions of dollars from people. And where did the money go, Tucker? That's what the documentary explores, that people are going to be shocked. I hope people are very behind the transgendered movement because that's where a lot of this money went, and then there's just a dead trail because the one thing that you're afforded when you decide that you are transgendered is you can change your name. So you don't know who any of these people were originally, but they received hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars of cash.
It's all... I just can't control myself and note, because I was there and I watched it, you were basically banned from all media, including some conservative outlets, but for telling the truth, the factual, documented truth about George Floyd. You were not allowed to tell the truth, which really was, I think,
exactly
a dark moment. Right. Let me ask you, do you know anybody, apart from the ladies living in Laurel Canyon and the transgenders you just mentioned, any actual, normal black person who benefited from BLM?
No, absolutely. It's the exact opposite. I can tell you millions of black people who suffered because they now live in the inner cities that were looted and that were rioted, and therefore the businesses picked up, which my documentary will show. They picked up and they left because why wouldn't they leave? Obviously, if they're basically saying that crime is allowed to take place and these are zones in which there can be no policing. So these people are now suffering economically, and we of course predicted that would be the outcome because of the BLM scam, which benefited nobody. And there are a lot of questions. In my personal opinion, this was a money laundering scheme. And it is interesting that these individuals, like Patrisse Cullors, decided to host a Joe Biden inauguration party at the Black Lives Matter house. Again, all of that is in the documentary. It's stunning. And I do want to add this. My personal charity, after I announced that I was doing this documentary, I run a charity called Blexit. We received a letter 2 weeks after the trailer dropped from the IRS saying that they were going to investigate my charity. I welcome the investigation because I am not a scam artist and I do real work in the inner city communities. This is Biden's IRS once again saying you are not allowed to investigate anything that the media is complicit in.
It's unbelievable. You're a brave person. They're going to come for you at some point, as you know. Candace Owens, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.